Hi, my name is Michael Botsford, and you are watching The Garage here on WOAI.com. And this week, I feel just really sexy because I got Mrs. Howl on The Garage. They speak the language of love, and we're going to tell you about that for the howl of it. I even busted out my new pinstripe suit jacket on. What do you think?
It's very sexy.
Don't touch it. Don't. Just hands off. Check it out. That was Mrs. Howl rocking out for us, and we got their front lady, Chelsea Dagger, with us. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
And introduce me to the band.
All right, this is Laurel Dagger. She rocks guitar, and this is Alfonso, our Swiss watch.
Mrs. Howl is a very fine band from San Antonio, but somehow there's a Gilligan's Island influence with the band name. Tell us about that.
It's like Mrs. Howl from Gilligan's Island. But it's actually not, Mrs. Howl is from Gilligan's Island, but our band has like nothing really as a tribute to Gilligan's Island, honestly. Whenever I was in Dallas, there was this all-girl band named Lovey, and I filled in on a couple of shows with them, and I became really good friends with their singer, who was a really good, big influence on me as far as a musician, and she helped me grow as a musician. I was in a punk band, and so I always wrote punk songs, and like she kind of just influenced me to kind of do, you know, a little bit something different, not punk rock all the time, not go a little bit more than just 3 chords. And so her band was called Lovey, which they named their band after Lovey Howell from Gilligan's Island. And so whenever I moved here and wanted to put together a band as a tribute to her, I was like Mrs. Howl. So
what is this whole affinity with Katy Perry and George Strait, was it?
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. We're not getting it twisted. It's Garth Brooks. Tell us about that.
Well, you see, the way we all met was we were in a Garth Brooks fan club. Alfonso was the head of the Garth Brooks fan club.
And, you know, we got to be very good friends, and we thought, you know, and then we discovered we all love Katy Perry, and so we decided we were going to start a band based on Garth Brooks and Katy Perry, so came Mrs Howl, and that was it.
What's your favorite Katy Perry song?
E.T. That's a Katy Perry song, right?
It is. Mine is that one about kissing a girl, because I happen to do that sometimes.
I like that one too.
Do you? All right. So tell us about that first song. It's about this place called House Off Evergreen that I hear about.
Yeah, it's a little house on a street called Evergreen. Lots of people in San Antonio probably know about it. It's crazy all the time. There's just crazy parties there all the time, and it's always a blast. Like, you feel like you're gonna fall through the floor. It's like one of the coolest places to play, but it's just a house. It's not even a venue. So.
Well, we wrote the song after, there's kind of a little story, like we had never been there, and we were playing our CD release party over at 502, and of course Anthony from Disco Wasteland's like, hey, come play the after party, we're playing Evergreen, and we're like, what's that? And he's like, you'll just see when you get there or whatever. And so we packed up all of our stuff. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, we get there and we set up, and we just didn't know what to expect, and it was an experience that we won't ever forget. And if you listen to the lyrics of the song, that's pretty much how the night, like, that's just our first experience, and that's how we'll always remember it.
Somehow House Off Evergreen is always a topic of discussion here in the garage, so we might have to go visit there someday. Let's talk about those records you were saying. Tell us about the first one.
About Lovey and a Yellow Lamp?
Mm-hmm.
Lovey and a Yellow Lamp, we put out literally like 3 months after we were together. And we had a CD release at 502. It was great. Art from Fauna Lux and Nina Diaz actually produced it for us. And we did it in like 3 days, I think.
Yeah,
maybe
over 3 days.
3 days. We recorded a full-length album. And now we actually just released a split with Disco Wasteland.
That's the newest one, right? Disco Howl, tell us about this.
Disco Howl, when we first started playing, everyone was like, you guys have to play with Disco Wasteland, you guys have to play with Disco Wasteland. And so we're like, well, I guess we have to check out this band. And we saw them, and they're just very upbeat, you know, kind of the same style of music as us. And we started playing shows together. We just all really hit it off, and we decided to just kind of start doing some collaborations and stuff. And it's basically just like our music, and they play with us and their music, and then we do some covers, you know. And it's a lot of fun to have something a little bit different, like have more people on the stage to, you know, to rock out with. And we had a lot of fun recording the album. Laurel actually recorded the whole thing.
Very punk rock. I like it. Now, Alfonso, I gotta ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
I mean, what's it like to play in a band with a couple chicks? I mean, they just like constantly like ragging on you, telling you what to do. Do you have to load everything out?
No, it's nothing like that at all. I've been in bands with girls before, so it's really, I mean, the capital idea is just that everyone is just really focused and everyone wants to just do what's right for the band. And so for us, there's no real attitudes or anything like that, or any boss or anything of the sort.
This next song is the reason why we were speaking the language of love this week on The Garage. Tell us about the next song that y'all are gonna play.
French Kiss, it's all in French.
Yes, and you know, it's very attractive to the ears. Tell us about why you sang it in French.
I don't know. I just wanted to write a song in French. I'm from South Louisiana, and my parents and grandparents all speak French, and so I thought it would be cool to impress them.
Now, speaking of Louisiana, tell us about the fan appreciation party and the special goodies that people can expect.
Well, I kept saying San Antonio has by far been the best music scene that I've ever lived in, and just everyone has just been so cool and just so supportive. And I was thinking, I was like, well, I love to cook, and I was like, what could I do? I was like, I really want to, you know, tell everyone thank you for supporting us. And so I just had the idea to like cook this big pot of jambalaya and some boudin and just have this one big party. And we decided to have it at Martini Ranch because that's the first place I think that ever paid us any money for playing. And so I talked to Jamie over there, and then I decided, what good is a Cajun feast without beer? We are paying the tab for our bands to drink with the Cajun dinner, so ice cold beer on us from 8 to 9 with the Cajun meal.
Oh wow! Well, I get off work at 10:30, so save me some boudin and some beer. Now, Laurel's from Louisiana, and she can bust out some of this Louisiana speak that we've heard about. Give us a little taste of what we can expect at a Mrs Howl show from you, maybe.
Laissez les bon temps rouler, let the good times roll.
All right, we're gonna let the good times roll at The Garage with Mrs Howl some more. Check it out.